Hi, this is Roger. This video is going to show how to update your ConnectIQ data fields to version 2.0. To do this, we need to uninstall your existing data fields and then install a new data field as a part of this upgrade. So this particular upgrade is unusually complex just due to the nature of the changes that we're making. So we want to do this through Garmin Express. So I'm gonna, on my example here, I'm gonna use a Phoenix 3. I've already got the Phoenix 3 connected using its cradle and connected to the USB port on the computer. So then you want to, if you don't have Garmin Express running already, you want to start it, and you would do that from your start menu over here, and then scroll down to Garmin, and then pick on Garmin Express. And I've already got mine running, and a lot of you people may have this already where it runs in the background. And if it's running in the background, you'll see it over here if you click on this up arrow, and then this globe looking icon is the Garmin Express. And if you right click on it, there should be an option to launch Express. So now Garmin Express is getting started. Then this will show all the devices that you have. I've got my Phoenix 3 connected right now, and you can tell that Garmin Express recognizes it because of that green dot. So I'm going to click on the Phoenix 3, and it may do some syncing. And if it wants to update your firmware, go ahead and let it do that. It's always good to keep the latest firmware on your device. But once any syncing gets done, we're going to click on Manage Apps. And it may bring up a whole list of things here. To get at the ones we want to just pick on the data fields. Now you may have more data fields installed than this, but right now I've got the Moxy Phoenix 3 data field and the Moxy Phoenix 3 second data field. And I want to uninstall them. So to uninstall them, we just click on the X to remove from device. And then we also want to remove them from the list. So if you right click in this space and click on delete from list, then these won't show up with an option to download them again. So now the two data fields that we had have been removed. And to get the two new ones, we need to go to the Garmin App Store. So if you just go to a browser and type in apps.garmin.com, it'll bring up their App Store. And if you're not signed in to your Garmin Connect account, you just need to sign in here, and this will be your Garmin Connect credentials. So your Garmin Connect username, our email and password. So I'll click on sign in. And then we want to find the new Moxy apps. Now there's quite a few, new Moxy data fields. There's quite a few data fields that are already uploaded. To get the ones we want, we're going to search for Moxy first, which is 1ST sensor. And we want the one that is called Moxy first sensor right here. So it should say Moxy first sensor. This is how you'll know if you have the correct new one. And then once you're here, just click on the download button. And then now you need, if you have multiple devices, you'll need to select which device from this list. I'm going to pick on the Phoenix 3 and then confirm device. And then it's asking for permissions, and we'll say allow. And then that one is done. And then we'll just search for Moxy second sensor if you want to download data fields to support two sensors at once. And we got to find the one that says Moxy second sensor. So again, this is what we're looking for. It should say this exactly to make sure we've got the right one. Click on download, and then click on the Phoenix 3 again, confirm device, allow. Okay, so that should be putting the devices, or putting the data fields on our device. We'll go back to Garmin Express, and you can see that Garmin Express is already syncing the device to get these installed on the watch itself. So we'll let that syncing finish up. Okay, the syncing is finished. So now we're going to go back into the Manage Apps, and we should see our two new data fields here. I'll go back to data fields. So now these are the two new ones that we've installed. And if you right click on them, there'll be an option for settings. And we can set the sensor ID number. And so as this is especially important if you're going to be using multiple sensors or if you're going to be using your sensor in a group setting, you want to set this sensor ID number so it will only pair to your sensor. Um, uh, Otherwise, if you leave it set to 0, that's the wildcard character and it'll pair to the first sensor it finds. So I'm just going to set that to 665 because that's the sensor I have sitting here. And then if you're going to consistently use the sensor on a certain location, like a lot of times I use this on the left quad, this will get stored in the fit file to help you remember which is the left side and the right side if you're using multiple sensors. So we'll click on Save there. We'll do the same thing for the second sensor. My second sensor is 893, and I'm going to say this one's going to go on the right quad. Save. And then I can back out of this, and that's all it takes. Everything is up to date, and now the new data fields are installed on the watch. The next thing we need to do is go into the watch itself. And since we removed the data fields and installed new ones, we have to reset up our display screens to show the new data fields. So I'll step through how to do that next.
Okay, now I've removed the watch from the docking cradle, and it's done the updating. And so I'm just going to go and re-add those new data fields to our display screens. So I'm just going to click on the Start button, and then we want to add this to whichever activities that we want to use the Moxy data fields in. So I'm going to pick on the biking activity. And then I'm going to do a long hold on or a long press on the up arrow button, which will bring up the menu. This is a little different on different devices, so you might have to review, the menu settings on your particular device. But this is how it works on the Phoenix 3. So I'm going to click on settings for the current app. I'm going to accept that, and then data screens. I'm going to accept that, and then I have this set up where I want these to show up on my screen number 4. Right here, and this is already set up with a 2-field layout. And since I previously had the data field set up here, but since I deleted them, it now just shows that field 1 is set up as a timer, and I want to change that. So I click on field 1, and ConnectIQ Fields is the first option, and I want this to be Moxy first sensor to go in field number 1. And then field number 2, I want to set that to be the Moxy second sensor. And once that's done, I can back all the way out to the biking app. And then when I scroll down to my 4th screen, this is the display for the Moxy sensors. I'll go ahead and turn these on so it pairs to them. And these are the 2 numbers that were flashing there were the numbers of the sensors that we set. I'll start the app so you can see it. And then now these sensors are ready to take measurements.